Hello, I'm Doug DeWitt, T-shirt transfer paper product manager here at Condé Systems, welcoming you to our demo room studio in beautiful Mobile, Alabama to give you a workflow video on the new formulation of Neenah ImageClip laser light. Now, if you didn't get to see our product announcement, Neenah ImageClip laser light has gone through a formulation change. Now, the A sheet or imaging sheet has been recoded. It should make it much easier to run through your color laser printers or color laser copiers. The B sheet, or the emulsion sheet, is still the same standard B sheet, but we're going to show you how well this new product improvement works by giving you a demonstration video of running through all the phases. First thing we're going to do is go to our computer so I can show you how to run the imaging sheet through most of your standard Oki color laser printers and copiers, including the brand new 831 TS. Once we have some samples cranked out, we're going to go to our heat press, and I'm going to show you step by step how to use the B sheet or transfer sheet with the new formulation A sheet so that you can see the wider range of application window that you now have working with this new formulation. After that, we're going to make a couple of test shirts for you so that we can see how well this new product works. So let's go ahead and get started by moving over to our computer. I'm going to show you the driver setup to run this new formulation through your standard Oki units. So now that we're at my computer, let's go ahead and generate this graphic from CorelDRAW X7. I'm in the print preview screen, and you'll notice I have my graphic mirrored or reversed. So let's go into the print options, and let's make sure our printer is selected. I'm going to use the Oki C831, the PS standing for PostScript driver. Let's click on Preferences so that we can access the driver, and let's run through the driver settings. The first thing I want to do is go to the Layout tab and make sure that my orientation is set for landscape for this particular graphic. Just so you know, you can change that orientation to portrait if need be. But for this graphic, we want to go landscape. Now let's go to the Paper Quality tab. Since we're running a t-shirt transfer paper through our color laser printer or copier, we always want to make sure that we are pulling the paper from the multi-purpose or bypass paper tray. For this Oki driver, let's go into the advanced PostScript options of the driver. Let's make sure we've got our paper size selected correctly. In this case, I'm running a tabloid or 11-inch by 17-inch sheet. I've got the image color management being handled by the host system, which in this case is CorelDRAW X7. I've got my image color management intent set to graphics. Now, what we need to make sure is our media type. I'm going to click on the pull-down menu. If you are running a standard Oki color laser printer, you're going to want to set your media type to Ultra Heavy 1 in order to run the new formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light. If you have the 831 TS, you could also select two-step light transfer. Once we've made that change, let's go into the Job Options tab. Since we're working with a self-weeding paper, let's make sure that our quality is set to Fine Detail, which is 600 by 1200 DPI. To save myself some time, I'm going to have my Oki driver print out half a dozen copies. Let's go to the Color tab. I like to make sure that I have my color mode set to Graphic Pro, and I like to go into my options, and as far as my black finish, I like using a composite black. Gives me a nice good toner layer and a deep dark black. So now that we have our driver settings applied, let's apply the changes, click OK, and let's print some transfers on the new formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light. What I love about the new formulation of the imaging sheet of Neenah ImageClip laser light is that it doesn't hold a static charge like the old formulation did, which means it's running much cleaner through my color laser printer. Also, since it's a thinner paper, it means I can run multiple sheets at one time without having to let the fuser reheat. So now that we have some transfers printed, let's move to our GeoNite DK20S heat press so I can show you how to weed the new formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light. We're going to open up our heat press. We are going to take our imaged A sheet or imaging sheet. We're going to lay that face up. We're going to take our B sheet or transfer sheet, which has the clear emulsion. We're going to lay that down, line up the two sheets. As far as the heat press setting is concerned, I'm going to use 215 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 seconds with a light pressure. Now this would be the normal range using the old formulation paper. But let's go ahead and give this a shot and see how it works. Lock the press into position, let the timer count down. Now those of you who might be familiar with the old formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light, my advice to you would be increase your dwell temperature by 10 degrees, increase your pressure by half a revolution turn, and you should be dead on when it comes to weeding the new formulation. When our timer goes up, we just simply peel the two sheets apart in a nice smooth motion. If we've done the process correct, while the camera may not be able to pick this up, we should see a perfect indentation of the original design within the B sheet. But to show you how flexible using this new formulation is, let's use some different press settings and see if we can still get the product to weed successfully. To demonstrate the application range that's now available with the new formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light, let's try a few experiments. I've went ahead and increased my temperature from 210 degrees to 220 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees above the recommended temperature. As far as the pressure is concerned, I'm going to go a full revolution turn tighter on the pressure. Now normally with the old formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light, this would dump a tremendous amount of excess emulsion in the design. But let's weed out these sheets and see what happens. Again, going to use the same technique, the transfer sheet or B sheet over the printed imaging sheet or A sheet, line them up on my press, swing the press over, and now I'm going at 220 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 seconds with increased pressure. Like I said, normally, if this were the old formulation paper, we would probably have a significant amount of excess emulsion on our imaging sheet. But you're going to see that this stuff weeds beautifully. We'll separate the two sheets while they're still warm. And again, I have a perfect weed attempt with the temperature 10 degrees above recommendation and with added pressure. But you know what? Let's keep going. I'm going to set up one more experiment for you just to show you how beautifully this stuff weeds. For this next experiment, I have reset the George Knight DK20S to 230 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees above the recommended weeding temperature for Neenah ImageClip laser light. Let's go ahead and add another full revolution turn tighter on the heat press. Let's open up our press, align our two sheets, place them in the same position, bring the press over, lock it in. Now this is what I would consider to be very heavy pressure. If we did this with the old formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light, we would probably have a solid sheet of emulsion over our printed design. We'd probably also have toner that migrates from the imaging sheet to the transfer sheet, a clear indication of too much pressure. But even going 20 degrees hotter and with added pressure, we still get a beautiful weed with the Neenah ImageClip laser light, just to give you a demonstration of the new window that it takes to operate with this paper. So now that we have this designs weeded, let's get some t-shirts so that we could show you how to apply your weeded design onto a cotton garment. So now that we have our transfers ready to apply, let's go ahead and apply them with our George Knight DK20S heat press. I'm going to use a Hanes Beefy Tee 100% cotton shirt in this medium blue. The reason I selected this color is because if there is any excess emulsion that I applied with that transfer sheet, it's definitely going to show up against this color. But let's go ahead and get this shirt ready. I'm going to take my sticky lint roller, lint roll the area that's going to be under the press, and want to remove any contaminants, because remember, if we drop the press down on any fuzzies, they will become a permanent part of the shirt. Let's smooth out our area. I'm going to swing the press over. Use the platen to do a quick pre-press. Only takes about 5 seconds. Now we have a nice smooth area. I'm going to go ahead and grab my transfer. This is the one that I applied with the recommended settings. Let's go ahead and lay the transfer down. Position where we want the image to appear. Swing our press over. And we're going to apply the transfer to the garment at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds. You want to use the same pressure that you used to do your original weed step. By adding the t-shirt in, you're going to add a little bit of extra pressure that you need to get the image to properly apply. When the heat press goes off, what we want to remember is that this is a cold peel product. So we're going to remove this shirt, set it to the side, and we're going to work on another one for you. Let's let this garment cool down so we can try our next example. The next garment we're going to try is this Hanes Beefy Tee 100% cotton in hot pink. Again, the reason I'm picking this color is because if there's any excess emulsion on my imaging sheet that I applied with the transfer sheet, it's definitely going to show up against this color. So let's run through the same steps. Take our sticky lint roller, lint roll the area that's going to be under the press. Use the top platen, drop it down, give our shirt a quick pre-press for about 5 seconds. Let's swing that platen out. Let's grab this transfer. Remember, this was the transfer that I weeded at 20 degrees above the recommended temperature with heavy pressure. If there's any excess emulsion on this sheet, it's definitely going to show up. Let's see what happens. Again, we'll place the design the way we want it to appear on the garment. Swing our heat press over. Lock it into position. Again, 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds. Now, when it comes to using a heat press, the reason that we recommend a swing away heat press is because it can apply even pressure just as easily as it can apply medium or heavy pressure. So whenever you're working with a self-weeding t-shirt transfer paper, we always recommend using a swing away heat press. And this George Knight DK20S does a bang up job. So when our timer goes off here, let's remove the shirt. Now remember, this is now a cold peel process, so we want to let this backing sheet completely cool before we remove it. So let's give these two shirts some time to cool down, and we'll peel these backing sheets and show you the finished results. Here's our Hanes Beefy Tee 100% cotton in the medium blue that we used the new formulation Neenah ImageClip Laser Light. We applied the design at 375 degrees for 30 seconds with a medium to heavy pressure. Now we have allowed this backing sheet to cool down before we remove it, but let's go ahead and show you the finished result. Again, if there were any excess emulsion on this sheet, we would know it by white areas that appear within or around the design. But looking at this shirt, I would say that is a clean weed. So let's grab our hot pink shirt and let's see if we got a similar result. So here we have our Hanes Beefy Tee 100% cotton in hot pink. Again, we applied this design at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds with a medium to heavy pressure. But remember, this was the sheet where I did the weed step at 20 degrees above the recommended temperature and with very heavy pressure. If there's any excess emulsion, it should appear as white spots or white areas when I remove this backing sheet. But let's see what happens. Again, If there are any excess emulsion areas, it would definitely appear as white areas within this design against a hot pink. But as you can see, this is a beautiful clean weed with the new formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light. So now, let's summarize what we've learned in today's video. So here's what you need to understand about the new formulation Neenah ImageClip laser light in terms of production workflow. The imaging sheet, or A sheet, is now a lighter sheet with a lighter coating. So you might have to readjust your media type setting in your driver for your particular printer or copier. Remember, when it comes to an Oki printer, you can go from an ultra heavy 3 setting to an ultra heavy 1 and still be able to run the paper. Because of that thinner formulation, it means that you're going to be able to run more sheets at one time through your printer without letting the fuser recycle its heat. Another thing is when we're working with our heat press, because we have a new formulated sheet, we now have a greater tolerance as far as the temperature and pressure that we can exert on the A sheet and B sheet, yet still have the product weed cleanly. And don't forget, with the new formulation, we now cold peel the backing sheet from the garment. So make sure you let your backing sheet completely cool before you remove it in order to get the best result. I hope you enjoyed this workflow video on the new formulation of Neenah ImageClip laser light. If you have any questions regarding this product or you need up-to-the-minute instructions, don't hesitate to contact us direct at 1-800-826-6332, or you can visit our website at www.conde.com. And remember to tune in to Conde TV for more tutorial videos regarding these new formulation of transfer paper products. Until next time, I'm Doug DeWitt, T-shirt transfer paper product manager here at Conde Systems. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.
There are so many videos for you to watch, we don't want you to miss out on a single one. So click here to subscribe to Conde TV on our video channel. Click here to like us on Facebook so you don't miss out on anything. And click here to visit this product's webpage.